Canada is known as a country of immigrants. People from all over the world come here with big dreams. They work hard, and end of the day, their dreams are fulfilled. That's the perfect example we have is Mary Ng, our Minister of Small Scale Businesses and Export. She came here as an immigrant with her parents. Her parents worked hard. She studied here, and ultimately, after finishing her graduation, finishing her university studies, she worked, elected as Member of Parliament, and now she is our Federal Minister. We are welcoming her today in our special program, What's Up? So, Minister, welcome to our studio.
Thank you so very much. It's so great to be here again and to speak to your wonderful audience, and you have a great audience.
Thank you so much, Minister, and I was going through your profile. Your parents came here, you were too young at that time, new country, new place, they worked hard, and ultimately you could achieve this position. So what do you have to say about your journey?
My journey, I think, is one that is so similar to so many people who come to Canada. You know, I arrived in Canada when I was 7, and I came here with my parents from Hong Kong. I had, my brother and my sister, and all of us, were young kids. So my parents brought 3 young children to a country where they thought that they could build a future for them and for us. I like to think that that journey paid off, but it didn't. But it didn't come without its struggles, right? I mean, I think that the story of immigrants, mine or so many others, you come to this country because you want to provide opportunities for your, for your family and create a better future. And they opened up a small business here in Canada, and I worked in that business. I mean, my brother and my sister, we all worked in the business because it was what we did, and I'm not different because many people did that too, to build a life and a life here in Canada. I mean, today it's wonderful to do what I do, but so much of what I bring to it, I think I learn in values from them. The value of working hard, the value of being humble, to be able to be given an opportunity to do this. The opportunity is given to me by the people of Markham Thornhill, the people who elected me. But when I travel my riding is so diverse.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they see in me is no different than what they see in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The journey is similar. We come from different backgrounds. Everyone understands what it's like to work hard. And I tell them that my commitment is to work hard for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just do a different job, but we all contribute to Canadian society, and I think that's what makes Canada so great.
Okay, your parents came from Hong Kong. They must be facing a lot of communication problems. Okay, but you grew up here and you studied here. So how difficult it was for them to settle here in the beginning?
It was very difficult because I actually learned English in Canada too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because when we came over, we didn't speak English. I mean, I was young, so I think as a young person, it's easier to learn the language. But for them, it was really hard because they didn't speak English. And even, my father, even, he passed just a few years ago. And even in his elderly age, he still didn't really quite master English. So you know what we did? I think most people do as a young child. I translated for them. So, imagine that, I was in some ways their communications vehicle to,
going
to a
to
bit of
banks
the work.
and public places
Exactly,
everywhere.
exactly.
Yeah.
So running a business, interacting with customers, doing the day-to-day what you need to do to raise your family, learning the language, making new friends, understanding how to do business in Canada, which is different than where they come from. All of that is a journey. And today I get to serve the people of Markham Thornhill, but I also get to serve the people of Canada, and I'm so proud to be able to do that.
Wonderful. Okay, you worked in the Queen's Park with the Attorney General, then you were working at the Ryerson University. This is a long journey you have. So how did it come to your mind to go into politics?
It wasn't an obvious one, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I had, of course, volunteered and participated in politics, for quite some time, having started here in Ontario, doing that with the education minister when they were in government in 2003. And before that, I spent many years in the public service learning how to be a good public servant. And what essentially happened was when we were elected in 2015, I joined the Prime Minister. I joined his team, and I headed up what I thought was a very
which
important
capacity?
Director of Public Appointments.
Okay.
And what was the commitment that we made to Canadians? The commitment we made to Canadians was to make sure that we opened up our institutions in a transparent way, and make sure that some of the most important positions that we were going to make sure there were good Canadians serving in was reflective of what Canada looked like today. And that was the file that I got to lead. And what occurred to me when the seat came up in 2017, when I decided to run, was that I had to walk the talk.
Okay.
I had to, if I believe that it was so important for there to be some, people who are women and who were made up, who also were visible minorities to take on leadership roles, I believe that fundamentally to my core, that's what will make a strong Canada. So with that in mind, I thought, well, I know that other young people are going to need to see it in order to believe that it's possible.
Okay.
So that's why I did it.
Okay.
Because I say you have to see it to be it.
Okay, you were elected with the very large margin, I believe. Elections are around the corner again. So in this short span, are you satisfied you could do whatever you want to do for your constituents, or as a minister, when are you going back, facing public, answering their questions?
Yes, I'm enthusiastic about that. I started my campaign in the by-election talking to the people of Markham Thornhill. I have not stopped talking to the people of Markham Thornhill. I stay very connected to my community and the people I serve.
And you are very diverse.
Very diverse. I have a strong South Asian community. I have a strong Chinese community. I have a Jewish community. I have many faiths. I have Christian, I have Muslim, I have Hindu. I have many, many faiths. I think that I know my colleagues say this, but I have one of the best ridings in the country.
Okay, and being immigrant yourself, how it's helping you?
Well, I think it helps because I think I relate to people. And I think that I spend time really listening to the aspirations and the concerns of people in my riding, but also Canadians. The economy is doing well. We've created over 1 million jobs since 2015. Unemployment is at a record 40-year low. Families have a better life today. 9 out of 10 families have a better life today because of the Canada Child Benefit. So and when I talk to people in my own riding, as well as across Canada, they tell me, they say, yes, I feel better today because I know I have a good job and I know that the prospects for my children are good. Those who just had it a little bit tougher are finding it a little bit better today. My own constituents tell me that they are able to send their young child for some lessons, some music lessons or sports lessons that they couldn't do before. Or sometimes, a little extra flexibility at the grocery store. But that is also helping the economy because it's actually stimulating and providing confidence in the economy. As the Minister for Small Business and Export Promotion, my job is to help companies start up, scale up, and access new markets. 99% of our businesses in Canada are small and medium-sized businesses.
Yes.
So they really are the backbone of the Canadian economy. So we're trying to make it easier for businesses to do business. We cut taxes from 11% to 9%. And Canada today has access to 60% of the world's economy. We have 14 trade agreements. What does that mean? I talk to businesses all the time. Businesses are looking for customers. They always look for customers. They look for a bigger contract from customers. They want more customers. So helping businesses do business in the Pacific Rim nation because we ratified the CPTPP, or in Europe through CETA, or to continue doing business in North America. This is the work that we are doing. These are the investments that we're making in businesses so that they can be more competitive. And when they're successful and they create jobs, then it helps Canadian society. And we continue to enjoy the kind of life that my parents came here for and that we all aspire to continue to have here in Canada.
In any democracy, middle class plays a very, very vital role in the decision of elections. Similarly, I would say small scale businesses, they're also going to play a very important role. She is Minister of Small Scale Businesses. She is responsible for the well-being of middle scale businesses. At the same time, she is taking the portfolio of export of our country also. So we were not having good relations with US recently. We had new agreement with them. So after the break, we are going to ask the minister how it's going now. So we will be back after a short break.